All right, y'all, what y'all think? Can we get the old air conditioner working on the Camaro? The guy I bought it from said it worked when he parked it. He said it worked when he parked it, then it sat 10 years. So, first step, does the compressor turn? And I've already turned it. It has like a hard spot, and I don't know, that's just where it's like building compression. I can still turn it by hand through that hard spot though. Well, actually now it feels consistent. So I'm just gonna hope that that's good. If the belt starts squealing and making noise and I hear terrible things, then we'll know that's an issue. First thing I want to do is get it running and then jump out these 2 pins on the pressure switch with the AC turned on. That should kick on the compressor, and we'll see if we have issues. Also, this system's completely evacuated, so I don't want to do that for long. Just enough to diagnose if the compressor is usable. Alright, y'all, AC compressor looks good. It was turning without making a bunch of racket. All right, that's awesome, because y'all know compressors are an expensive part of the AC system. And if they go bad and they seize up, you got to replace more parts if you want longevity out of it. So that not being seized up is awesome. It's going to make our job a lot easier and a lot cheaper. So I've already bought an orifice tube for this thing and an accumulator, I believe you call this. So I'm going to start working on replacing those. I've got the little specialty removal tool. Got O-rings. Here's the oil I used or bought. Only gonna put a little bit of this in there, but it's got the UV dye in there. Oh, and the ester oil is safe with it said on here safe with R12 and R31. Yeah, and it should mix with any old oil that's in there, so that shouldn't be an issue. And we just got the cheapo R134A. I haven't even looked. Does this thing say R1 or did it come with R12? I don't even know. All right, y'all, the new blower motor was the wrong one, so I put the old one back in there and lubricated it. I don't even know if I told you I bought a blower motor. It was issue I had with it was the connector was on backwards, but the connector, the I guess female connector, still went on it. Or maybe they're just bent. I don't know. Actually, maybe I can just bend that back. I'm gonna try that before I'm done. I didn't realize it until now those were bent. I got the old accumulator off, if that's the term for it. This thing's got the black O-rings on it, so that means it's set up for R12. It hasn't been converted yet, so I got a conversion kit. The new accumulator over here, I just transferred the pressure switch, so it's about time for me to connect the lines. But first I'm going to take this funnel and this ester oil, and I'm not going to be too scientific about it, but I'm going to pour some ester oil with the UV dye into the this fat hose, which that should be the low pressure side. All right, so my retrofit kit didn't come with the right fitting for the high pressure adapter to get the 134 gauges to connect to it. I can get the low pressure side to connect, but that's going to be a trip to the part store, and it's too late to do that, so that's going to be tomorrow. Hey guys, so I took the this AC line apart right here. This is your high pressure, and right in here is where your orifice tube is. I just took it out. This part is the part that's up. It's oriented like this. Now, as you can see, there's some metal shavings. This kind of acts like a filter. See this little mesh screen? I don't love the fact that I'm seeing metal shavings, but it's also not a crazy amount of metal shavings, and I don't know. We're just going to ignore that basically. So I've got a new orifice tube I'm going to put in there. They're real cheap. It's like, I think this was like $2.50, and it's a GM original, so I'm gonna pop that in there before we get the system vacuumed down. I also went ahead and replaced the O-ring that was in there. This was the one that popped out. And I have this assortment I got from Harbor Freight. The green ones are supposed to be safe for 134. Now I'm not going through every single O-ring in this system and replacing them. I've got that UV dye in there, and I'm basically just going to charge up the system, and if I see leaks, then I'll address O-rings. I may learn that I should have just gone through and replaced the O-rings from the get, but I don't know, this is kind of a learning experience for me. Got that fitting on there. Oh, I had to buy another retrofit kit because the one I bought off Rock Auto didn't have what I needed. I'm able to get the R134 gauges on the low pressure side, but I didn't have the right combination of fittings to adapt the high pressure side service port. So I bought this from Advance. Hopefully I can make something work. I'm about to try it out. All right, so I just pulled a vacuum on it with my vacuum pump over here, and I just ran it for like 30 seconds, and it's holding a vacuum, guys. That's what we want. I was trying to just, you know, preliminarily listen for some air leaks, some hissing, something obvious, but it's looking like it's holding a vacuum. All right, y'all. So at idle, it seems to be like just shy of 70 degrees. But if I stand here and I rev it for a little while, just a constant rev, it drops down to about 60. I put exactly 3 cans of 134 in it. Today it's like mid-90s, really humid, so this is like worst conditions, I guess you would say. And it's blowing, you know, it's getting closer. Right now it's 65-ish. It's getting closer to 60. And I imagine going down the road with air, extra air going through the condenser, probably help it out too. I wasn't expecting this thing to work like new, but some cooling's better than no cooling. I'm gonna pack up the tools now. I appreciate y'all watching. We were able to save the air conditioning on this one. Hopefully it doesn't leak down in a week. Anyway, talk to y'all later.